Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Ask the Roster. Not sure which number episode this is, but who cares? um, I'll remember by the time I obviously put this video up. But until then, I do not know. But it's no biggie. Because the more important thing about this show is, of course, asking questions to the ASF roster and getting their views and insights on what you have to say to them. That is the whole premise of this show. So let's kick off. We have a total of 16 questions for this episode. And our first 7 of those is from Lebo. That is with a 4 at the end. And his first question is to Mandy. Would you lose it if Owen came to ASF and you would have had to team with him? Her reply to that is no, because there is no chance of him coming to this place. And even if he did, I'll make sure that he would rather be someplace else. Oh, well, there you go then. So even if he did come, Mandy would be definitely sure that he wouldn't like to stay very long. But I have no plans, me personally, to bring him here. So, just if you're curious about that one. That's that one out of the way. I misspelled chance there, didn't I? Oh, never mind. So I already copy and paste all the text before I actually record the voice. So, I just noticed that. Never mind. That's why I'm here to read it out, I guess. Just in case. Next question is for Grim. He's actually gone through the whole cast. In fact, there's another question from Mandy further down the list, but we'll worry about that when we get to it. Next question is for Grim. Do you ever get worried during a match when you get slammed so hard you're literally fall to pieces? His reply is, anyone I face makes sure not to hit me very hard for that very reason. Yes, I have to be very careful with Boney or Grim. Anyway, moving on. Next question is for Billy. Like I said, it's gone through the whole cast, it seems. Does it ever hurt losing all the time? You must have broken all the bones in your body by now. Though you could ask Grim to borrow his. His reply is, losing? Losing what? I never lose. Did you like my Mandy impersonation? Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. We'll have to see what he's going to say about it. They're trying to up his game or beat Mandy to it. Anyway, speaking of Mandy, we have another question for her from him. It's why did you come to ASF? I thought you were all about taking over the world, and I'm surprised Billy let you come, since he would be sexist saying girls can't wrestle. Her reply is, a goal that huge is not done overnight. It takes steps. This is one of them. And whoever said Billy was in charge of me, I'll go where I please. Fair enough. Yeah, she does. She certainly bosses me around sometimes. But I know the person she bosses around the most is Eggman, but he's not around to be bossed anymore. At least not for now. Next question is for Bart. Since you became a wrestler, has it stopped the bullying by Nelson? His reply is no, because he knows it's all fake anyway. Yes, that's a problem with being here. Well, I always see wrestlers as not being legitimately tough because people are always saying, it's all set up. I mean, look at the people that were in the original ECW. They weren't much to look at, some of them. But, they just look like regular people. So, not that that's a bad thing, of course, because I love the show. So, that's the important thing. But, yeah. Anyone can do it, even me. Because I do sometimes. Next question is for Mindy. How does it feel knowing the nerdy Lisa is going to steal your spotlight, or what what of it you had. Now she's on Raw. So reply is stealing the spotlight. Correction, I'm not a nerd, thank you very much. So she's stealing nobody's spotlight. Oh, there you go. Mindy being her aggressive self and backing up the comments. Yeah. Maybe we may be seeing Mindy in a new light, who knows? But we'll have to wait and see for that one, won't we? I mean, who would like, I'm going to break the fourth wall here, but screw it, because I like doing that. So, who wants to see Mindy turn heel? You can just tell me. Next question is for Metal Sonic, the seventh final question. What is it with the cape? Seriously, I don't recall one Sonic game where you wore a cape. And then his reply to that is the short answer would be the game Sonic Heroes. Yes, he does well wear one in that. The longer one would be something to do with continuity. So, I'm going to say community. In the old ASF, before it came to YouTube, I had a rivalry with Nightmare, which is correct, who was wearing a cape at the time. I defeated him, and by doing so, removed his cape and made it my own, to wear as a badge of honor, to rub it in his face even more so, and I still do today. Yes. Obviously, it's Plaguing Nightmare. That was his cape originally, and then we had a storyline to see. And then Metal was the one to finally beat him. And yeah, he's been wearing it for some time as definitely a badge or whatever. Even though it doesn't go where a badge should, but it's still a badge to him, and it's still bragging rights at the end of the day. Maybe he's been reading from the Book of Sun Tzu. I don't know. Okay, we move on now to Worms, who has 4 questions for this episode. His first one is to Lisa. How do you feel about being drafted to Raw? Well, she wasn't actually drafted, she was forced there, but same thing really, I guess. Her reply is good and bad really. I mean, I have to leave the freedom movement and my dad, but at the same time, but all the same, sorry, after beating Cream, the women's champion, I feel like I'm going to fit right into my new home. Let's call it. Yes, new home, let's call it. So, yeah, I'm happy Lisa is happy with the move somewhat. Decisions had to be made, of course. We had to back it up, because that's what the people voted for at ASF. But then again, be better than getting fired, or better than going to the anti-heroes by a long shot. Lisa is still free to do as she wants, apart from obviously going to SmackDown, but that's another story. Next question is from Manic. Hey Manic Man, did you like the match between you and Bart Simpson that happened months ago at SmackDown? And what is your opinion about Lisa being drafted onto Raw? His nice reply is, dude, I forgot all about that match. Maybe because I'm more worried about the future with the anti-heroes and all. And that brings me on to my next part of the question. Of course, that means we are 1 person down now, but we hope to correct that soon. I got Wario on the case right away. As for Lisa herself, I heard she beat up the champion, so I guess she's happy nonetheless, man. Manic with his men. Gotta love it. Yes, he definitely got Wario on the case. I can see something happening there. So, you'll just have to wait and see, won't you? Wario seems to be the recruiting guy for the freedom movement right now. So who knows who's going to pick up next. Next question is for Bomberman. Why did you help Grim win the hardcore title at the ASIF? His reply to that is, it's all part of a little plan. Plus that means the anti-heroes have 1 less title in their hands. Yeah, he's got a good point there. We'll have to see what this little plan is all about. Maybe what the previous answer was for Manic. So, but yes, 1 less title for the anti-heroes, which is, of course, all important in that battle for supremacy over on SmackDown. So that's a good thing, I guess. Unless you're an anti-hero fan, then I apologize. But let's face it, they've still got the tag team, and they've still got, well, they haven't got the YouTube anymore, but who knows? They might have it by the end of this episode of SmackDown. We'll have to wait and see. Next and final question from Worms is for Tails. Why did you help Manic win the street fight, requested match that is, against John Cena, if you two don't like each other? His answer is, if we hate or if we like each other, it doesn't matter. We're not going to be beaten by another wrestling company that's not half as good as us. Well, there you go. Tails is loyal to the product, I guess. So much so that he will go out of his way, despite what hatred he has for Manic, and of course stick up for the company rather than his own little personal feud. That's what makes Tails such a great sport, I guess, somewhat. But other than that, he's a complete, I don't know what to say. Begins with F. Okay, last 5 questions now, as we're rattling on. So I'm going to try and whiz through these as quickly as possible. It's from Super Smash Wrestling 100. He has 5 questions. His first one is to Lisa. How are you doing on Raw? Seems to be a very popular question. Her reply is, well, I beat Cream, so I guess fine. Yeah. So she's running out of answers to give on how she's doing on Raw. Okay, next question is for Luigi. What is up with you and Knuckles? Why did you help him win? Luigi's reply is, why do I need to tell you? I think you're asking the wrong guy for this question. Yeah, I think he is kind of right about that, though he's being very rude all the same, because he should be giving his view and everything. But maybe Knuckles would be the guy to go to. I certainly would be interested on talking to him about that little controversy at the end of Raw. Next question is for Amy. Is Scourge, sorry if I spelled that wrong, going to come down to the ring with you from now on? He did spell that wrong, but of course I've corrected it here. But she's going to point that out as well, I believe. Her reply is, if he can, then yes, of course, but I don't want him to protect me all the time if I can stand up on my own 2 feet. Unless I'm facing Metal Knuckles, then he can be with me as long as he wants. P.S. It's spelled S-C-O-U-R-G-E. Just leave out the A at the end there, sweetie. And no, that's not me calling you sweet, that's her. Okay, I'm talking on her behalf before we get any ideas. Oh dear. Next question is for Bart. How are we doing for time? Ooh, getting near the end. Doing pretty bad. Doing pretty good, sorry. Doing pretty bad. Yeah, doing bloody awful. Bart. Next question is for Bart. How do you feel about Lisa being on Raw? His answer was plain and simple. Good riddance. So that's his charming personality for you. So we'll have to see what's next for Bart. If that's his mindset. At least he wanted to get Lisa fired, but at least he's probably happy that she's no longer in the same brand as him. So who knows what he's going to do next. And our final question is for Tails here. Do you wish Eggman and Mandy were fired for what they did to you at ASIF? His reply to that is, if I wanted to do that, Manic and his freedom movement would already be fired. Why bother? It's just like the freedom movement. We can beat Mandy and Eggman just as easy. They will become another punching bag like Manic and his failure of a group. But yeah, that's what it boils down to. Tails feels that he doesn't need them to get fired. He can beat them, so that might be the case. Who knows? But if it is, then I look forward to watching it. But I'm so glad he hasn't fired Manic and the others, because of course otherwise the show might become a bit depressing. And that's going to about wrap it up for now. I'm going to call it quits because time's running up. But of course, if you want to ask a question yourself, then you know where to go. It's the ASF forum, a link in the description. And with that being said, I will be off. I'm running out of time, and but I will be posting something a bit later on, which may spark some curiosity. But I will see you later.